In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why you should avoid most boot camps. Now, not all boot camps, some are great, but many of them are not, and I'll explain to you why. Now, full disclosure, we run boot camps. We run AWS boot camps on a regular basis, and we find that they're a fantastic way for our students to gain a lot of experience and get ready to get into the job market or get to their next level in whatever career they're already in within the cloud world. So, why would I say avoid boot camps? Now, let me just explain what I mean by a boot camp. So over the years, I've worked in the industry for well over 20 years, and I've been to quite a few training courses, often termed boot camps. Now, my company would send me and I would be there for normally 5 days. So it's a classroom environment. You get taught by an instructor, and they would cost, $4,000 or $5,000, sometimes more. So pretty steep price tag. Throughout the 5 days, you would have some slides, a bit of presentation. They'd be walking you through some exercises. There'd usually be a manual with some screenshots and some steps, and you'd start getting a little bit hands-on with the technology. So all sounds great. So what's the problem? Okay, the problem was that at the end of the 5 days, you were nowhere near ready to pass the certification exam. Most of these training courses were all about getting you to the point where you could go and take some IT certification exam. But at the end of the 5 days, you weren't there. So at that point, they would essentially send you away, maybe with some resource links, and say, right, you can go off and do a bit of study and then pass the exam in a few weeks' time. Of course, all of the support ends after the 5 days. You no longer have access to the instructors to ask them questions. You no longer have access to the other students to discuss what you've learned and ask questions of each other. I also find that sometimes when you try and cram so much information into a really short period of time, it's hard to remember it. It's very easy to forget that information. So what I find is a structured approach over a longer time frame is a better approach. And of course, people want support. They want to be able to ask instructors questions. They want to be able to communicate amongst the other students as well so that they can help each other out and learn from each other. And you also want to make sure that at the end of the program, you're ready to pass your exam. That's what you're paying for, really. So I'm absolutely not saying to avoid boot camps, but if you're going to spend a few $1,000s or more on a boot camp, you need to know that you're going to get a lot of value for that money. You could spend a lot less on a training course and do your own study in your own time with on-demand training. But of course, it does make sense. Sometimes people want to be in an instructor-led environment to get more hands-on experience, more real-world experience taught to them, and to be part of a group of people training together. So that's where boot camps help, but just make sure that you're getting the value for money. You're coming away at the end of the process ready to get into the job market. You're coming away ready to go and pass your certification exam. So at Digital Cloud Training, we do have boot camps for AWS. We focus on particular certifications like the Certified Solutions Architect Associate. And what we do is we spread it over a period of 6 weeks. So you've got a longer time frame. You can do it outside of business hours if you're working a job already. And we back off of our super high quality video-based training, practice test courses, and cheat sheets. And then we deliver live sessions where you get taught more in-depth knowledge, you get more real-world experience, and you get lots of time to practice some fairly complex labs in the live sessions. So it's a great way to get a really strong skill set. We want to make sure that our students come away not just ready to pass the exam, but also ready to go and get a job in the industry. And you need experience to do that. We make sure our students are well supported as well. We ensure there are multiple instructors available to help them out throughout the entire program. At the end of the program, you'll be ready to pass your exam. But not only that, we have an exam pass guarantee so that even if you don't, then we'll pay for your exam retake. But that won't happen. We'll make sure you've got really strong knowledge and a practical skill set. So not all boot camps are created equal. Some, I think, are a bit of a waste of money, whereas others can be a huge value, and you've really just got to do your own research and make sure you're in the right program. So I hope that was useful. Happy learning.